I gave up on some of my biggest dreams and failed myself completely simply because I was too scared to ask one simple question. Why are you so scared to be yourself? It's a difficult question to answer because it forces you to self-reflect, but honestly, I think those type of questions are the best ones that we need to ask ourselves. Now, I don't want to speak for anybody or assume anything, but I know that a lot of us are holding in a piece of our personality because we're too scared of how other people are going to perceive us. Every single one of us has a talent or a skill that we're too scared to show the world, and like I said, I ruined a large portion of my life trying to hide who I was and who I actually wanted to be. The harsh reality is that a lot of us have a special light within us that never shines to its maximum potential, and it just gets dimmed down because we're looking for one thing. That one thing being validation. Undoubtedly, the worst addiction for our generation is validation. Hands down, and I'm no stranger to this at all. Now bear with me while I paint a picture of a younger version of myself who ruined a large portion of his life trying to fit in, just so I can show you guys the costly effect of having that fear of being yourself, and also show you guys the importance of being yourself. Now, of course, I wouldn't want anybody watching this video to go through the things that I went through, so I please advise you to listen up. Now look, I'm not the coolest guy right now, but in my head back then, it was bad. So much so to where it affected my grades, my mentality, the way I acted, the way I saw the world. I diminished who I really was because I wanted to fit into this so-called popular group. Now granted, a younger version of myself is super cool, and I hate the fact that we can't see this when we're younger, but we realize it now because the younger version of ourselves was so cool that we're still looking for aspects of our younger selves to incorporate into our lives, because as your younger self, that's the happiest you're supposed to be. But I did realize that for my generation, we somehow missed that step. We went straight to trying to impress other people and trying to get the validation from other people, and obviously this is from social media, and I have a whole video showing exactly how. But back to the story, there was a designated cool group of people that I just wanted to be a part of so bad, and newsflash, I never got into that popular group of people, but it took a large toll on me because I was diminishing my personality and trying to match it with other people in that group. So a younger version of myself, probably like 13 or 14, was staying up every single night trying to be like other people, and like I said, mentally I was drained because of this. I stopped focusing on the things that actually mattered at the time, because at the time my main focus was just simply impressing other people. Who cares about having fun? Who cares about having good grades? Who cares about living your life as a regular kid? This guy only thought about impressing other people, and that took the biggest toll on my entire life. I stayed up a lot thinking about why I wasn't a part of that group, what I could do better, because I was a little nerdy, I was small, I developed pretty late. So at this point, I'm thinking that God already has it out for me, but really I just shouldn't have been comparing myself to other people that young. And there's ways to limit or stop this mentality that I really wish I learned back then, but I'm going to talk about that later on in the video. But the moral of that story is that I wasn't being myself because I was looking for that validation of other people. And this isn't even the story that really ruined my life. Ironically enough, the reason I ruined my life was when I was even younger than this. And this younger version of myself was so heartbreaking because I ruined a lifelong dream that I had because of it. Now for context, this isn't my first YouTube channel. That younger version of myself had a YouTube channel, and he wanted to be an actor, a director, a filmmaker, literally anything involving or behind the camera, because I was a creative kid. That's what kids wanted to do back then when the entire YouTube scene was popping off. But I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to do anything involving the camera because this was just really my passion at the time. I made YouTube videos. I had a decent amount of following. Now obviously it's nothing too crazy because I was still like a 13-year-old kid, but I really could see myself doing this for the greater portion of my life. But obviously I gave up on that dream, and I kind of ruined my life because I wasn't being myself. People at school started making comments about my videos. People started saying stuff to me. Now it wasn't anything to the extent of bullying, but it was enough for me to think, okay, maybe this isn't the cool thing to do. So yes, I was scared to be myself because other people viewed it as weird. So I stopped recording videos. I gave up that dream of wanting to be an actor, a director, and everything. The passion that a younger version of myself had for 3 years was just destroyed in a matter of seconds. And that's the most heartbreaking thing that can happen to anybody. No child is supposed to have their dreams crushed because of the perception of other people. And unfortunately, it happened to me. Now the reason that I say it ruined my life is because I wasted a lot of valuable time to learn, to experience things, and to make mistakes because obviously I'm trying to start a YouTube channel here. So just imagine if I kept with that dream and that goal that eventually came right back to me, just on a different channel. I wasted my time. I spent countless nights wondering and pondering why I wasn't the cool kid. And to this day, I regret the fact that my dreams shifted that much over one situation. Because I love being creative. I love filmmaking. I love directing. I love doing anything involving a camera, like I said. But for the past 5 or so years, I just haven't done it. I gave up on that dream entirely. I had dreams that I kept to myself and I held in simply because I was too focused on what other people are going to perceive me as. I was way too scared of just being myself. Get this, I was looking for that validation to keep on going. I was looking for the validation to fuel my motivation. And if the validation isn't there, then the motivation is going to have to be down here. If you don't have the motivation at that point in time, why even keep trying? My entire intent for this story is just to show you guys how common it really is. In this generation especially, and I have a deep feeling that a lot of the people in my generation, younger than me, are probably feeling the same way. I think it's really common that the person watching this video probably has something that they're holding into. So I think a good question to ask is, what am I holding in? What am I hiding from the world because I'm too scared of how somebody's gonna perceive it? What special talent, skill, ability do I have? Am I hiding from the world simply because I'm too scared of how the world is gonna perceive it? What part of yourself is kept sacred from the world? I mentioned this early on in the video. Every single one of us has a light inside of us that gets completely diminished because of the validation that we're not getting. And I don't care if I'm the only person that have ever told you this, but I truly believe in you, and I believe in that light that you should follow. And if you really get anything from this video, I want you to just brainstorm what your actual dream is and then work towards it. I'm following my dreams, and if I'm happy doing it, you will be too. But how do I fix this? As a teenager in this generation, it's inevitable that I'm gonna be looking for validation. In a younger version of myself, it's inevitable that I'm gonna care what other people think. Here's what I would do. It took me a little bit to realize, but the coolest thing that we can do as people is to stand out. The coolest thing that any person can do is be unique. Try something, just be yourself. We as people have gotten so fixated on the idea that we have to fit in with the norm of society that we're forgetting that fitting in was never supposed to be the norm. We don't like music that sounds like every other song. We don't like movies that are just like other movies. We like unique things, and people are no different. Now, if that doesn't resonate with you at all, there's another piece of advice that truly changed my life. No matter what you do, there's going to be one person that doesn't like you. And you've heard that so many times before, but I'm going to put it in a different perspective. There could potentially be 400 people that don't like you. So you're going to try your hardest to fit into society, to cut that down to like 200 people. You still have 200 people that don't like you. So you try to fit in a little bit more. There's going to be 15 people that still don't like you. So after all of that hard work, all of the work that you did to be something that you're not, there's still people that don't like you. Even if you try your absolute hardest, there's always going to be that one person that's going to hate on you, that's going to try to make fun of you. And if that's the case, what's the point in even trying to fit in? There's always going to be one person that hates on you for no reason at all. What is the point in trying to fit in? The moral of the story is to be yourself. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want more content in the future like this, make sure you subscribe, because I will have another video next week about whatever topic that is. I can't remember right now. But yeah, I'm going to keep posting videos like this consistently. So if you're interested in that, make sure you like the video and subscribe, and come back for more next week. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want, share it with a friend. See you guys next time.